Hey, what's up guys? Radku here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Yeah, I'm not doing the face cam. But, anyway, today is going to be my top 4 true Draco list. Now, this was actually super fun to do. So, I ended up placing 3rd in the tournament. This was True Draco Monarch. So the idea was that I had a bunch of Monarch cards, really just boosting the deck, and it turned out really well because the Monarch cards were actually a really cool aspect of the deck that really helped boost the number of continuous spells and traps that I played, as well as helping my control playstyle. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Starting things off, I played 2 copies of Metaltron 7. This card is surprisingly really good. A lot of decks can't even out it, plus it's a nice beat stick to play in a deck that can't play its extra deck. So, like, the thing is that, like, this card it's basically a very weakened version of Masterpiece, but the thing that makes this card slightly better is that you contribute 3 monsters instead of 2. So the thing is that you can make this unaffected by everything, but that even the times that I summoned it, like, it didn't really accomplish a ton, because at that point I had either already won the duel or just, like, it didn't accomplish anything later on in the game. So this card is still really good. It is definitely not a replacement for Masterpiece, but it is still a really good card, and it is definitely a solid pick, as well as the fact that it's searchable, so it doesn't even need to be your main objective. I played 1 copy of Dynamite. I wish I could play this at more. This card's insane. I played 3 copies of Majesty's Maiden and 3 copies of Ignis Heat. Both of these cards have the same effect, where they can put grab you either monsters or spells respectively. They're both pretty good. I mainly relied on Majesty, but really I just used Ignis for, like, I ended up using Ignis a lot, but I definitely used Majesty way more. I played 1 copy of Dragonic Diagram, 1 copy of Card of Demise, 1 copy of Terraforming, 1 copy of Set Rotation, and 1 Called by the Great. I definitely wish I could cut the Called by, because the Called by didn't accomplish anything throughout the entire game because of how much of a control deck this is. The Dragonic Diagram and the Card of Demise were probably, like, the stars of the show, just because Card of Demise just netted me so much free advantage, and a Dragonic Diagram was just an insane card. It really helped up the consistency, and it could get me to Metaltron whenever I needed to. I played 3 copies of Mystic Mine. This card was actually okay. I actually did prefer domain locking my opponent as opposed to doing Mystic Mine, but, like, surprisingly, Mystic Mine was a decent card, and when I'm, like, in a tight spot, really this deck wants to go first, so the fact that, like, I was stuck in this situation where, like, I drew into Mystic Mine and didn't really have anything to do, like, really did come up a lot, but, like, Mystic Mine was a solid card. I played 3 copies of Pot of Duality. This card is awesome. I didn't want to play Prosperity because I wanted to play the Monarch cards, but still, Pot of Duality is a nice substitute for it. Card of Demise, I wish it could come to 3. It could come to 3, but Konami's hating on True Draco. Pot of Duality was just really good. I played 3 copies of Heritage, and 3 copies of Disciples. Heritage was probably the better one in the matchup, because it could get me more draws when I needed them, on top of the fact that it has that immediately after the effect Resolve summon, meaning that you could just tribute summon for free in addition. So, like, that's really good, on top of Disciples, which did come up quite a bit. Its first effect didn't actually come up, and I mainly used it for tribute fodder for Metaltron, but, like, this card was surprisingly good in a lot of matchups. I played 3 copies of March of the Monarchs. This card's actually really good. So you can tribute monsters, or tribute summon monsters you control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects, And, like, it's actually really, really good. This didn't actually come up a ton. It did come up once or twice when I had Majesty on the field, but, like, this card was surprisingly good at just, one, setting up more tribute fodder, because I used to play a virtual world engine so that I could get more tributes, but I actually prefer playing usable Monarch cards as opposed to playing that because of how well the decks mesh together. And then I played 2 copies of Domain, so I was actually kind of throwing this deck together last minute, so I really didn't know what to put in for the last 2 spots that I had sitting here, but Domain turned out really, really well, because, like, during my Mech Knight matchup, like, he was doing really good. He was outpacing me for the later part of the game, but Domain actually helped me control a lot of the earlier game. And even though Mech Knight doesn't use the extra deck a lot, it did help me lock down quite a bit. I played 1 copy of Skill Drain. This card is not needed for you don't need explanation for Skill Drain in this deck. It's insane. I played 3 copies of Return and 2 copies of Apocalypse. These cards both are absolutely busted. I really didn't use the first effects of any of them. I really just used the quick tribute because it just provided more disruption for my opponent. Like, all of them were rogue matchups, so the tributes actually work really, really well to destroy, and I actually really liked it. And then I played 3 copies of the Monarchs Erupt. This card was a godsend in all my matchups. It just did so much for me, and the advantage that I was able to sustain due to this card just stopping everything was really, really good. So that is it for the main deck. I'll just blaze through the side deck. Played Lightning Storm and Evenly for going second. I played Lancia because, like, there were there's a guy that played Zombie, and then usually the decks are rotating quite a bit, but there was an Eldritch deck that I was looking out for, but that didn't really come up. Nibiru, because everybody is playing combo decks, and then Droll, because Droll hits a lot of things, and even though I didn't use it a lot, it did come up a little bit. So that is it for the deck profile. Let's go into some playtesting. So this matchup was against a kind of fish spam deck. I forgot what the card was called. So I went first. It wasn't too hard, but so basically I was able to get the Erupt on the field, and I was able to get Maiden, meaning that I just had a good setup. Plus I had a trap set, meaning that I had some good disruption. So he used Moray, shuffled 2 back, drew 3. Then I used Maiden to search the Metaltron. Searched it there. It was a lag. Then he summoned that, went into the Marincess. Then I used the Apocalypse, tributed it to summon that. And then my turn, I just swung in for big damage. He didn't really have anything after this, but got Summoner Monk. Couldn't really do anything. I attacked and swung in. So yeah, he didn't really do much after this. There wasn't really a ton he could do. But he still got a few things off. I just used that. I used the Maiden to search that. Activated Heritage, attributed those 3, summoned a Metaltron, and just crashed because it was unaffected by everything. And then that was game. Then game 2, he of course went first. So then this one was quite a bit different. He actually managed to get his combo off. So he used this thing, which summons 4 free fishes, which was insane. He kind of messed up there. I was fine with it. He went into an access code turn 1 and did not really accomplish anything. But went into Suryuya, then got a little bit of extension, and then he linked he was having a bit of trouble, so he just left it there, and then I just lightning stormed him. Diagram, search the return, summon that, and then just crashed into him. He really couldn't do much against True Dracos just because of the control aspect, plus he was still learning the deck, so there was quite a bit of stuff that I was able to accomplish, and just like that, I won game 2. So this matchup was against Mech Knight, where I lost in the finals. So his Mech Knight build was actually really powerful. So he managed to just pull that off. He unironically played Sandkin, and I was really mad about this matchup because of everything that happened. So he summoned the blue sky. I used return just to get rid of the blue sky, and then see, look at this. He floats into Sandkin 3 times. He floats so much in this, and then I attack with that. I attack that again. He searches the Sandkin. I attack. Well, then guess what? He sets the Sandkin passes. I attack. Oh, sorry, the Ash Blossom. He was at 500 life points, and then he pulled this. So he summoned the Indigo, and I used that. He ashed it. He just summoned that, banished, searched the blue sky, and then I potted Duality into a Metaltron, hoping that I could use that later on. It did come up, but I wasn't really able to accomplish much. The Mystic Mine actually didn't do a lot because he was able to out it really quickly. So I just got that. Then he bounced it. He used that, searched that, summoned the red, and then swung in for big damage. I was really irritated that all of this happened. So I shuffled those 3 back to draw 1. Then I Duality into an Erupt. Set 1, activated the Heritage. Forgot to return that, but then I domain locked him and summoned the Metaltron. But then I forgot that I was so dumb. I forgot that Morningstar was a thing, and it needed to be in the same column, and I completely forgot. I could have won that if I just summoned it in the Morningstar column, but I messed up there. That was really sad. Summoned the Gearsu, just so that he was literally trolling at that point. He knew that I had enough damage to kill him, but couldn't due to the True Draco stuff. So the issue was that I was trying my hardest to draw into a monster, but I couldn't get anything. So he summoned that, and then just attacked with that, and then he took game 1. He made me go first, of course, because it's Mech Knight. I Duality into Disciples, returned those, set 3, passed, activated return, tribute. Oh wait, I think I misplayed. He even lead Gearsu, then summoned the Gearsu, then summoned the 2 tokens linked for to go add that, summoned with the Mech Knights. I activated Heritage to summon the Metaltron, but yeah, no, I really wasn't able to accomplish much. He just access code and swung for most of the needed damage, and yeah, that was game. It was really sad. I wish I had gotten more. The matchup was super crazy, and I was actually really surprised how well True Draco held up. It still does have an incredible grind game, but I'm really thinking about cutting Metaltron because Metaltron just didn't accomplish anything in the deck, and every time I tried to play it, it either got outed by something or just the protection wasn't enough. The thing that made Masterpiece good was just because you could summon it, and then you could summon a lot easier, plus it gave you that disruption, but this just really didn't do enough for me. So all in all, being able to play True Draco in 2021 and seeing moderate success was really fun for me. I wish Konami would give us a few more cards back, such as Draco Fighter, maybe even Card of Demise, because this is really the only viable deck that plays Card of Demise. I really do think that Masterpiece could come to one, but I doubt that they would actually give us that much until True Draco gets quite a bit more power crept. And like personally, I'm just kind of sad that this deck like just doesn't have the same power as it used to, but the fact that I was able to take it this far in the tournament just really shows that this deck is truly decent. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, let me know what you thought, and let me know if there's anything you would change about the list. There are a few changes I would personally make, but I couldn't due to the tournament restrictions. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Peace, guys.